Imagine this. You're 23 years old. Student loans are crushing you. Your family is counting on you. Then a DM slides into your inbox, a luxury modeling contract in Dubai. All expenses paid, designer clothes, infinity pools, a chance to finally breathe. You board that plane believing you're about to become everything you've dreamed of. But what happens when the dream becomes a nightmare you can't wake up from? Would you think about your family? Would anyone notice you were gone? What would you do to survive one more day? What move would you make to extend your existence? Destiny Clarke's story echoes the lives of countless young Black women lured overseas with promises of opportunity. Women like Krista Pike, Cyntoia Brown, and the unnamed girls who vanish chasing a better life, only to find themselves trapped in a system designed to consume them. Destiny had no choice but to find a way to survive, to find a way to extend her existence. But the real question deserves an answer. What really happened to Destiny Clarke? Dubai Nights, a No Tears for Black Girls story by J.C. Reedberg, released in honor of National Human Trafficking Awareness and Prevention Month, brings this hidden world to light, placing a spotlight on the stories that never feature Black women, girls, and children who disappear without a trace. Dubai Nights is free to everyone on Amazon Kindle from January 16th through January 19th, and free afterwards to anyone with a Kindle Unlimited subscription. Now, on with the book's preview. Chapter 1, Final Notice. Jamila Clarke wakes to a text alert, the phone's hard buzz rattling the chipped melamine of the kitchen table. She's fallen asleep there again, hunched over a sprawl of red letter bills and a legal pad dense with her own scrawled numbers. The glow through the east-facing window announces morning, but in their apartment, nothing changes. The air still stinks of last night's burnt toast and this week's mildew. On the far wall, Destiny's ring light casts a luminous halo around the living room's sagging couch and the hand-me-down bookshelf crowded with empty beauty boxes. Her mother's voice lives in Jamila's head, always first thing. Get up. Handle your business before it handles you. Jamila rolls her neck, vertebrae snapping, then forces her attention to the spreadsheet on her cracked laptop. Rent, 4 days late. Power, due yesterday. Destiny's phone bill, auto-drafted at the expense of their groceries. She runs the math 3 times and still can't see a way forward. She adjusts the blue ink totals with a growing sense of nausea, tries to banish the vision of the eviction letter she knows will appear any day now. In the living room, Destiny orchestrates her morning performance. She shifts the furniture just so, aligning the lens to frame her in the only clean corner of the apartment. The thrifted couch, pilled and sunken at the left arm, could pass for vintage with the right filter and a pillow from Target. The battered coffee table, covered in Destiny's makeup arsenal and unopened PR packages, doubles as her influencer war desk. Jamila watches as her sister fusses with the tripod, adjusting the phone's tilt until it eliminates the peeling paint above the window. Destiny's hands move quick, expert, arranging the props with the care of a museum curator. The first take starts. Destiny perches, back straight, head tipped, lashes blinking slow as she channels what she calls main character energy. She holds up a foundation bottle, label out, and smiles. Even from across the room, Jamila sees the minute tremor in Destiny's left hand. The smile falters, but Destiny reboots, reshooting the opener. She repeats the routine with small, stubborn corrections until the segment plays back, flawless. Jamila scrubs her hands over her face and stands. Her feet ache from yesterday's double shift shelving at the library, but she straightens her t-shirt and wanders to the fridge, hoping there might be milk left for cereal. There isn't. She pours tap water into her mug and stares out the window. The view is a weedy parking lot, a shut-down Family Dollar, and beyond that, the morning traffic creeps along MLK. Behind her, Destiny's voice echoes with manufactured brightness. Hey angels, it's Destiny Divine, and I am living for this new drop. Jamila tunes it out, focusing on the numbers in her head, rehearsing how she'll break the news when the shutoff notices become real. "Can you keep it down?" she finally says, low-voiced but sharp enough to cut through the recording. Destiny's expression, visible in the front-facing phone camera, doesn't change. "Almost done," she chirps, but her eyes flick sideways in warning. Jamila drops into the kitchen chair. She starts to gather the mail into a neat stack, but her hands rebel, shaking worse than Destiny's. Instead, she grips her knees, nails digging into skin until the tremor passes. Destiny finishes her take, taps the screen, and exhales. The mask slips for a moment. Her shoulders cave in, and she blows out a long, unfiltered breath. Jamila catches it, feels a twist of guilt. 50,000 now, Destiny says, holding up the phone screen. The number shines in cartoon digits above a flood of heart emojis. Jamila blinks. "Thought it was more last week." "Shadow banned," Destiny says, all business. "Algorithm changed again, but it'll bounce. My reel's at 200K views, plus I got a brand DM last night." She peels a lip gloss sample from its mailer, uncapping it with a pop. Some hair oil company wants a collab. Real money this time. Jamila eyes the pile of unopened bills. "How much?" Destiny shrugs, a small movement that telegraphs more than it conceals. "If it goes through, could be a couple hundred, maybe more. Plus they send product." She watches her sister trace the stick of gloss across her lips, gaze locked on the phone's own reflection. Destiny has always been the pretty one, the loud one, the one who believes in miracles. Jamila has spent her whole life waiting for Destiny to learn that luck is not their inheritance. "Utilities called again," Jamila says. "We're 2 months behind. Landlords threatening late fees." Destiny frowns. "I told you, I'm waiting on a brand payout from TikTok. It's just slow." "It's always just slow," Jamila snaps. She hears the edge in her voice but can't blunt it. "What if it doesn't come? What's your plan B?" "Why you always gotta be so negative?" Destiny's hands still. For a second, she looks like a mannequin, lips perfect, but eyes as hard as the blue glass beads she wore as a child. "I'm building something. You act like it's a waste." "I act like reality exists," Jamila shoots back. She points at the ledger, at the unyielding arithmetic. "We need actual money, not just dreams and DMs." "People make real money off this, Mila. You wouldn't know. You quit after 3 posts." "I quit because I have to pay for school and keep us afloat." Silence closes over the apartment. Somewhere in the building, a baby starts wailing, the sound cutting through the drywall. Jamila massages her forehead, willing herself not to cry or escalate. Destiny checks her phone again, thumb flicking rapid fire over the notifications, a junkie needing a fresh hit. Jamila says softer, "I just need you to help. If you worked even a few shifts." Destiny's jaw tenses. "I am working. Every hour, every day, you don't get it." She packs her makeup into a battered Sephora bag, the zipper screaming as it catches. "But you never do." Jamila watches her sister retreat down the hallway, the ring light abandoned in its glow, phone propped in the stand like a trophy. The apartment, emptied of Destiny's performance, feels instantly smaller. She pushes the stack of bills aside, then goes to the living room, turning off the ring light with a click. The air cools, as if the entire apartment exhales at once. On the couch, Destiny's phone blinks with a text notification. "Your rent payment is overdue. Please contact management immediately." Jamila presses the power button and lets the screen fade to black. She returns to the kitchen table and lines up the bills in descending order of threat. One envelope is already open, a pink slip, final notice in bold. She traces the letters with her finger, then folds it into a precise square and hides it under the legal pad. Her hands don't shake this time. On the other side of the apartment, Destiny's voice rises again. Lower now, maybe rehearsing another script. Jamila knows her sister will emerge in 15 minutes, face reconstructed, optimism restored. She always does. But for now, the apartment belongs to Jamila, and she allows herself a rare moment of control. Just her, the cold light, and the truth of numbers that don't care who is watching. Delete. At 8:19, a knock raps at the apartment door, short and double-timed. Jamila wipes her hands on her jeans and opens it to find Tevin Colwyn on the threshold, his teacher's bag slung across his chest and a cardboard coffee tray balanced in one hand. He's cut his hair again, she notices, shaved tight around the edges, the top squared off like he's measured it. He wears the blue polo from his charter school, tucked into slacks, a look that reads more after-school program than math teacher. But it suits him. Brought caffeine, he says, holding out the tray as proof of good intent. His smile is soft around the corners, the kind that makes his students think they can talk him into deadline extensions. Jamila steps aside and lets him in. The air between them is easy. She's known him since Destiny brought him home senior year, and their friendship has outlasted the relationship by at least 3 breakups. Thanks, she says. The coffee is from Quick Trip, but he's splurged on flavor shots. She takes the one with extra vanilla. Tevin scans the kitchen. Its chaos, the unpaid bills, the lingering smoke of burnt toast. He doesn't comment. Instead, he sets his bag by the door and takes a seat, bracing his arms on the table. Destiny up? He asks. In the zone, Jamila says, gesturing toward the living room. Destiny, now in a different outfit, films another round of content, this time demoing a hair straightener. She repeats her lines in escalating pitches, the words blurring into noise. When she notices Tevin, her whole face changes, eyebrows up, smile wide, the performance notched to max. Hey, stranger, she calls out, switching off the ring light. She pockets the straightener and smooths her shirt, coming over with the energy of someone who's just taken first place in a contest no one else entered. Tevin stands, self-conscious, but Destiny pulls him into a one-armed hug. Jamila watches the exchange, noting how Destiny's body goes rigid the instant her hand touches Tevin's back. Affection, yes, but calibrated. You brought coffee, Destiny says, claiming the third cup and immediately popping off the lid. She sips, then makes a face. Sugar-free? Trying to keep you healthy, Tevin replies. Destiny rolls her eyes but drinks anyway. She perches on the edge of the couch, one leg crossed tight over the other, her knee bouncing a high-speed tattoo. They talk surface stuff for a few minutes, Tevin's classroom drama, his ongoing beef with the science teacher over shared supplies. Jamila retreats to the kitchen, watching as Tevin works his way into the conversation, looking for a seam where he can say what he really came to say. He finds it fast. Saw your story this morning, he says. Looks like you're killing it. Destiny shrugs. You know, just doing the most. Must be nice working from home. Destiny bristles, lips pressing into a thin line. It is work, she says. Editing, posting, dealing with trolls. I spend more hours on this than most people do at their desk jobs. I know. Tevin raises his hands in surrender. Didn't mean it like that. Jamila watches the tension coil tighter. Destiny picks at the label on her cup, not looking at either of them. So what's up? Destiny asks, tone flat. Tevin tries for gentle. You told me last month you had an offer coming. Did that go through? Destiny bristles, then catches herself. She nods, but the gesture is off. Too fast, too shallow. It's in process. These things take time. Just be careful, Tevin says. I know how those companies work. The contracts aren't always what they say. Destiny's jaw locks. You saying I'm not smart enough to read a contract? He shakes his head. No, just that these companies don't care about you, Destiny. They care about what they can get from you. She goes still, the statement hitting a nerve Jamila recognizes. It's the same one she presses when she talks about money, but from Tevin it lands different, more accusation than concern. "I'm not a child," Destiny says, voice low. "I know what I'm doing." Jamila moves to back her up, but Tevin cuts her off. "I'm just looking out for you, okay? That's all." He smiles, but his hands fidget on the table, fingers lacing and unlacing. Destiny stands, gathering her phone and makeup bag. "I appreciate it," she says, but her tone makes it clear she doesn't. Tevin tries again. "I could help you look over the contract if you want." "I'm good," Destiny says, backing toward the hallway. "Thanks for the coffee, though." Jamila steps in then. "Where are you going?" Destiny's voice is all sugar again, but it doesn't hide the quiver underneath. "I have a call. Brand partner in Dubai wants to Zoom and the time difference is wild." She forces a laugh, turning it into a cough. "This could be big. For real." She vanishes down the hall, bedroom door clicking shut behind her. Silence settles, heavy as wet laundry. Tevin looks at Jamila, his expression somewhere between apology and worry. "Was I out of line?" Jamila shakes her head. She searches for the right word, settles on, "scared." Then, after a beat, "Me too." Tevin nods, glancing at the closed door. "You think this brand thing is legit?" "I think she wants it to be." Jamila tries to smile. Fails. She's chasing something. Tevin leans in, lowers his voice. "You still working those night shifts?" Jamila shrugs. "Library's the only thing paying right now. I'm trying to get hours at the student center, but it's tight." "If you need anything..." Jamila cuts him off, a reflex. "We're fine, really." They sit in the quiet, the smell of coffee mixing with the residual sweetness of Destiny's perfume. In the other room, the faint sound of Destiny's voice carries, animated, pitching herself to an invisible audience. "She's smart," Tevin says. "She'll figure it out." Jamila nods, but the hollow in her chest says otherwise. He squeezes her shoulder, then lets go. They sit together, each with their own dread, neither willing to say what they both know. Destiny's ambition is a fire, and nothing will stop it from burning straight through her if it has to. Delete. The hallway is barely wide enough for two people to pass without brushing, but Destiny shoulders through with her backpack and tote slung crosswise, making herself bigger than she is. She's changed into her CEO mode outfit. Knockoff blazer, high-rise jeans, cheap heels scuffed from Goodwill but worn like armor. She paces to the door, clutching her phone and makeup bag like talismans. Jamila blocks the path, arms folded, unmovable. "You're just gonna leave?" Destiny doesn't slow. Some of us have places to be. She tries to slip by, but Jamila sets a hand on her arm, gentle but resolute. "Don't do this," Jamila says. "We should talk." Destiny twists her arm free. "We just did, remember? You made your point, loud as always." Jamila drops her hand, frustration burning up her face. "You're not listening. None of this is safe. You're trusting strangers with your money, your info." Destiny cuts her off, words clipped, raw. "Not everyone wants to spend their life buried in criminology textbooks. Some of us have dreams, Jamila, not just safe little plans." "You think this is about me? I'm worried you'll get in over your head, and I won't be there to drag you out again." Destiny shakes her head, hair flicking perfectly. "You act like I'm 12. I survived Atlanta. I can survive a Zoom call." "Last time you said that, you lost $500 to a fake crypto sponsor." Destiny's eyes go glassy. "Why do you always gotta bring up old stuff?" Tevin hovers behind them, uncertain, hands up as if to split a playground fight. "Maybe just take a breath, both of you." "Stay out of it," they chorus. then glare at each other and almost laugh. Destiny moves toward the door, her hand shaking so hard her keys jangle against the knob. She pauses with her back to them, chin tilted high. Jamila tries one last time, voice softer, almost pleading. "You don't have to do this alone." Destiny looks over her shoulder, eyes rimmed red. "Don't worry, I won't be alone." Then she opens the door, slips into the humid morning, and shuts it behind her with a seismic bang. The silence that follows isn't empty. It thrums with everything unsaid, with the long history of battles that always end the same way. Jamila presses her fingers to her temples, steadying her pulse. "She'll be back for dinner," Tevin ventures. "Not if she lands a contract," Jamila mutters. They drift to the window and watch Destiny cross the lot, phone already pressed to her ear. Even at a distance, you can see the energy radiate from her, like she's tethered to a stronger invisible current. "Always wanted to change the world," Tevin says. "She just never cared how it changed her back." Jamila manages a half smile. That's Destiny. They stand together until Destiny vanishes around the corner, swallowed by traffic and the city's morning noise. Inside, Jamila gathers the bills into a rigid stack. The red final notice glares from the top. She runs her thumb along its edge, skin stinging where the paper cuts. She leaves it on the counter, a dare for when Destiny returns. Tevin starts to tidy the table, a teacher's reflex for order. As he moves a stack of junk mail, he catches sight of Destiny's open laptop, the screen still glowing. He reads aloud, "Quick money opportunities online, no experience needed." He looks up, worry naked on his face. She's really going for it. Jamila shuts the laptop hard. She's not the only one. She takes a deep breath, tastes the stale air, the chemical perfume Destiny always leaves behind. Then she looks at Tevin, her voice clear. "I'm not letting her disappear," she says. He believes her. He always has. Jamila straightens, squares her shoulders, and starts a new column of numbers on the legal pad. She writes out the first line, her own, in Destiny's place this time. She will not let her sister fall, no matter what it takes. That was Chapter 1 of Dubai Nights, a No Tears for Black Girls story by J.C. Reedberg. Remember, this book is free on Amazon Kindle from January 16th through January 19th, and free afterwards with Kindle Unlimited. Don't miss your chance to read Destiny's full story. If you want to support this show, there are several ways you can help us keep bringing these stories to light. Subscribe directly through Spotify via the link in the show notes. Join us on Patreon for exclusive content and early access. After reading today's free download, purchase any book from the No Tears for Black Girls series on Amazon Kindle. We have both ebooks and paperback editions available. Stream the soundtrack to our stories by searching No Tears for Black Girls. Soundtrack on any music platform. And if you love this podcast, you can support us by giving us a like, a follow, and a 5-star review. Every positive review helps us reach more listeners and helps more people hear the stories mainstream media ignores. This is Samantha Paul for No Tears for Black Girls, the cases they ignored. Stay loved, stay blessed, stay safe. And remember, whenever you're trapped in a world of darkness, never allow fear to overwhelm you. Just believe in your inner spirit and remind yourself of God's first words. Let there be light.